Good day, folks. We're happy to have Amanda Shepard here to share her career story and her lifeguard career with us. If you're a student tuning in, please make sure you go to the Regina District Industry Education Council and fill in the survey for a chance to win a $50 gift certificate and give us some feedback on improving these sessions.
My name is Amanda Shepard. My position is a lifeguard / instructor. I am permanent at the Kinsman Sportsplex, and I've been working there for over 5 years. Education and training. You can be 16 years old to start. Or have a high school diploma. You need your bronze medallion, your bronze cross, your CPRC, and your national lifeguard. Other education that helps is your water safety instructor, which is through the Red Cross, your life-saving instructor, which is the Life Saving Society. I also have my first aid and CPR instructor course, which is also a bonus. Your bronze instructor, which is also good. Exercise theory for teaching water workout, knowledge of how the body moves, and your aquafit instructor of teaching aquasize. Duties, watching the swimmers in the pool, divide jobs between myself and the other guards. Could be like cleaning bleachers or anything of that sort. Teach lessons and make lesson plans. Make report cards for preschool levels and swim kid levels. Goes all the way up to swim kids 10. Do pool tests every morning. Equipment / spaces. We use the main tank and the leisure pool of the Kinsman. Equipment may look like flutter boards, flotation belts, dumbbells, life jackets, and life-saving tubes, depending on if we teach swimming lessons or if we teach water workout. Likely unknown duties, confidential information about swimmers. So if they have any hidden like medical things about them, if they are prone to having seizures or anything of that sort. Informing supervisor and fellow lifeguards. Again, if someone's medical conditions, tracking how many swimmers are in and out of the pool, cleaning up blood or any bloody or bodily fluid. Care for individuals who need first aid / CPR, write incident reports / follow-ups. Rewarding aspects, working as a team player / team leader, teaching people how to swim / define technique of strokes, getting appreciated by students and thank you by parents. Stressor / challenges. Parents who are not satisfied with how a lesson went. Students who don't pay attention. The hot temperature on the pool deck. Understaffed. Salary plus benefits. So roughly in Saskatchewan, you can make $34,081 to the $39,773. Salary chart can be found on Jabago or jabago.com. Search lifeguard salary. Canada Life benefits through City of Moose Jaw, which include dental care and eye care. Manulife pension through City of Moose Jaw. You can work Monday to Friday or shift work. Shift work being where it's not guaranteed hours. You kind of just have hours here and there kind of thing. Supports and professional development. Supervisor or head guard on duty. In-service training and keeping up with skills and new studies or life-saving techniques. Red Cross videos of first aid and CPR skills for demos on myrc.red. Opportunities in the field. Travel or work for lifeguard on a cruise, or could work as a lifeguard on a cruise, or teach advanced courses exchange for an experience. Be included in demo videos for Life Saving Society or Red Cross, or given opportunity for specialized training, higher positions such as head guard, manager, or supervisor. Work-life balance. Have to plan meal breaks between co-workers if no defined breaks. Could work some overtime if short-staffed. Could be asked to work holiday, which is actually not too bad, depending on who you are. Could be thinking or overthinking about a situation that happened to someone in a first aid or CPRC instance. Q&A. Any questions?
I have a couple, Amanda. This is Lisa calling. My first question is, is in relation to you. Do you have any next steps to your career path? Like, are you considering head guard or manager supervisor in the future? And if so, what do you need to do to get to that?
That's a great question. For me, that would be awesome to get to that point. But I would probably, to get to that point, kind of be in my position for a little bit longer, because I've been in it for a little bit less than a year. So I would kind of want to build that up and kind of be a little bit more familiar with like doing cash and other stuff like that, because for being a head guard and all of that, you need to really know how to run the front desk and run basically all kind of like the aspects, if that kind of makes sense.
So the head guard, manager, supervisor, it's more the business kind of role that you need to learn more about.
Yes, yeah. Because like when you are like a lifeguard and instructor, you're basically like managing like yourself, like your lessons, and making sure that you're giving like feedback, you're doing your report cards and stuff. And when you are like a head guard / manager, like you're in charge of doing like scheduling people and all of that, which I don't have experience like in that yet. So that would be good, like say if I ever wanted to do that, or if, you know, maybe a little bit in the future, if say a position like that came up, and if that kind of tickled my fancy a little bit, I could maybe kind of look more into like the scheduling aspect if that kind of makes sense.
So what led you to choose this career?
What made me to choose this career? I've always liked swimming, and I've just always liked helping people. Like I help people with special needs on the side of lifeguarding. And it just like, it's really nice to be able to teach like a life skill, which like you kind of take it for granted a little bit. Like if you've always been around water, it's kind of like second nature, but to some people, and depending on like where you're from, like some people don't know how to swim, you know? So it's really awesome to be able to like show and demonstrate and do like drills and techniques of how to get someone to be a better swimmer, or even just to simply pull yourself across the water or be able to float, kind of thing.
So what do you know, happen to know, maybe not yet, but do you know what's needed if you wanted to, say, in the future, after you had more experience, become like a Red Cross instructor for some of those certificates that you talked about?
Like what you kind of need to do, kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so I have my first aid and CPR instructor. Like, I'm not fully certified yet because you take like the course. So it's like a weekend kind of course. And then you have to do like your, like a practicum. Like you have to like contact like someone who is a fully registered first aid instructor. And you have to say, hey, like, could you like mentor me? And then you would teach like 50% of the class, or depending how much percent they want you to kind of teach their class. And then they would give you feedback and say, okay, I like this of you, or they would either give you kind of like a pass or a fail kind of thing.
Good. That's interesting to know. So, I mean, a person could be a lifeguard, but also could supplement, if they wanted to, their income by doing some private stuff or being an instructor.
Yeah. And there's actually quite a few people that I know work like the Monday to Friday. And then sometimes they'll work like the odd weekend, because there will be like first aid and CPR instructor courses. Like, say if it's like a Saturday and like a Sunday, then they would do that. And it would be on like a separate check kind of thing. Like it would be like a different type of pay, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I think that it's an interesting career, especially if you really like the water. And it's interesting to see that you can advance if you're interested in advancing. And it's also something you can fall back on. If you had another career, you could also do lifeguarding on the side. So thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you.
So I have a couple of questions. I was curious to see you had a salary for the year. I just wonder if you have a sort of a cost or a wage per hour range.
Yes. So I'm not quite sure of the students' salary. I think it's around kind of the 15, 16-ish. But I do know, like, say if you graduated high school and you have all your stuff, your bronze medallion, your bronze cross, CPRC, National Lifeguard, and you like started the Kinsman, for instance, you start off at like 19 something, just a little bit like under 20, which is not too bad, like in most places, because most of the time, like I know at the spa, I think they cap out at like 18 something. And then, yeah, if you literally are done like high school or something, you start at 19 something. And like for me, I've been there for like 5 years, a little over 5 years. And I get 23 something.
Yeah.
So not too shabby, like considering like course, like advanced courses kind of thing. But yeah, like, because you have to hit the 4,050 hours. Like you have to hit a certain amount of hours, and then you get your, like, you go up with the increments kind of thing.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
And so then tell me a little bit about the cost of training. So does the Kinsman help you out, like if you want to advance, or is that all on your own?
If you're permanent, I think like they might help you out a little bit. But when I took like my first aid instructor, I wasn't actually permanent like at the time. So I could maybe like look into that, but I think they might like reimburse you kind of thing, but I'm not quite sure actually. But say if you wanted to take your bronze medallion, it is a little under $300 like per course, like a little bit expensive, but not too bad in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Okay. That answers my questions. Any more from you, Lisa?
It sort of sounds like then, you know, the benefit of being a lifeguard too, or taking your courses, is that you take a bit at a time. They're not very costly each course, and you can live at home at the same time while you're doing that. So you're not going to see the cost of the education. If I hear you saying you couldn't really see how much it cost you to become educated, to be a lifeguard, you didn't have to take out a loan to do all of that because it was something you did at a time.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, and it's also an excellent sort of side hustle when you're going to, if you're going to school or weren't sure of your career path yet full time, and being a lifeguard is it's a pretty decent wage per hour. Comes with a lot of responsibility too, though.
Yeah, exactly. If you think of it like, and I think it's so interesting because a lot of people nowadays, I find, go to school and kind of thinking they might like something, and then like say if they take out a loan or something, and then that loan is literally like in their name, and then they have to pay it back, and then they end up not like pursuing that, right?
Yeah.
So that's good in the aspect of lifeguarding. That's little by little.
Yeah. And you can do it quite young, your training.
Yes. Yeah, you can actually, because to take your bronze medallion, you actually can be as young as 13. Because 13 for bronze medallion, 13 for bronze cross, 14 for CPRC, and then you have to be like 16 to take your national lifeguard.
So do something to start early so you can, if you want to pay your way through school or something.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay. I think it's also a career that a lot of people don't think of as a full-time thing.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
It is actually good opportunities. And I like how you put in there about like cruise ships or resorts. There's great opportunities to live a pretty good life.
Well, and it's quite interesting because I remember when I took my my water workout class, like the aqua size, there was like this lady who was the teacher, and she was actually like a teacher herself, and she was taught like the aqua size kind of in like the Humboldt area. And she said that she's been on like some cruise ships, like teaching water workouts actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good related fields.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Linda. That was awesome. I'm sure the students will find this very informative.
Yeah, no, thank you, Troy, for the opportunity. And yeah, I hope that answers all your questions.
Yep, great. Thank you.